Hello, everyone. I'm James Milan. Welcome to the DEI update. DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. I am speaking, as I always get to, with our director, the town's director of DEI, and she is Jillian Harvey. Hi, Jill.
Hi, James.
Good to see you as always. I'm just going to assume you're really busy and we'll take the minimum of your time that we can.
That sounds
Um,
good.
but lots to talk about yet again for this update. So just bring us up to date with recent happenings in your department, please.
Yeah. So it has been super busy the last few months, and will be for the next couple months, I'd say, probably up until like February. I think things are going to be a little hectic. But it's for all good reasons, all wonderful projects that are happening. And I think I've mentioned some of them before, that the DEI division is spearheading right now. So we've got these three projects that I'll probably just provide you with a big update on that are in full swing. So we've got our community equity audit that has been got started in June, and so it's October. So we're moving right now into the qualitative data collection stage, which really means that it's going to be focused on community input. So our consultants, we're working with Opportunity Consulting. They're out of DC. They're going to be conducting some focus groups starting in early November, and they've already started contacting individuals as well to do some one-on-one interviews with our different community members. So I'm really excited that that's just continuously moving. Our consultants are really on top of it and sticking to the timeline that we kind of worked on with them and that we proposed. So if folks hear from someone from Opportunity Consulting, please respond because they do want to talk to you. But this is going to be going hand in hand with some employee workshops that are actually going to be starting as well.
Mhm.
So we are in the process of gearing up for an all-town employee um, set of workshops that are centered around equity, racial equity, and justice. And those are going to be starting in November as well. So I know in previous updates, we've talked about the work that the town did with the National League of Cities. So we're switching gears a little bit and we're going to be working with a different consultant, Strategy Matters. They're a wonderful group out of Dorchester. So they're local and they kind of understand the local feel here. um, but with them, we're going to be um, doing some work over the next couple of months with every single town employee. So these workshops are going to be um, happening starting, I want to say, the second week of November. And there's going to be a number of options for all of our employees to be scheduled. We've been spending the last couple of months figuring out all the logistics as well, because that's a big task, about
Mhm.
400 folks to kind of get scheduled to make sure everyone's participating. But I'm really excited about this because it's going to be an opportunity for us to work with each other. All of our departments are doing amazing work every single day, but there's not a lot of opportunities for individuals across departments to connect and talk and engage. But through these workshops, we're going to be doing all of that, but also kind of building a shared understanding of equity, what it means for us in our jobs, what it means in public service, and how we can start to then take what we're learning from these workshops and apply it to the recommendations that are going to come out of that equity audit and how we can all be a part of that implementation. So I'm really excited that these two are happening. Our consultants are, in tune with one another. So things are lining up really well. But it's definitely busy. um,
Yeah, I was going to say that sounds like really a pretty massive logistical undertaking. Just again to
yeah,
get everybody in the rooms with each other, and just to make sure you don't miss folks, and to keep all the essential services running while you're doing this, and et cetera, et cetera. So really glad that you're feeling excited and confident
yeah.
about how that's going to go, because of course the consequences and the benefits are clear as well, and will be just as massive, I hope, as the logistical challenge.
Yeah, definitely. And it's been great to working with leadership as well to make sure that we're doing this in partnership with our town leaders and our department heads, that they're involved, they're assisting with getting folks scheduled. So it's been really great. working on the back end with our consultants to get all of the logistics down, but then also having that support and the desire and enthusiasm from our employees to actually want to do it, which is, for me, that's the best part. And then let's see, we also have another big project going on that Arlington is a part of. It's our language access pilot project. So it's going to take place over 2 years, but that is starting to kind of pick up speed as well. So that project is in partnership with MAPC, the Massachusetts Metro Area Planning Council, and a few other municipalities, Milton, Randolph, Beverly, and then also the Blue Hills Community Health Alliance. So with that, this group, I guess we can call ourselves a cohort, will be over the next 2 years working together to look at some best practices, challenges around language translation and language accessibility. We know that we provide a lot of information to our community members, but it might not be accessible to everyone because it's not in their native language that they speak, or they need it to be, they use a reader and the reader doesn't work because on our end we've done something wrong. So there's a lot of pieces to what accessibility means. But working with these other municipalities and MMPC, we're going to be starting some different focus groups within our communities over the next couple months as well, to hear from community members, see what their needs are, see what's most important for them to make sure that they can access certain services, programs, documents, etc., and that we're able to meet them where they are. So if there is one thing in particular across every municipality that no matter what should be translated, we're working to figure out what that thing is. And then from there, the next year we'll be taking a lot of those best practices, things that the information we're finding, and starting to implement it. And just seeing how it goes and looking to other communities that are doing it really well. So that is moving. That also includes a monthly roundtable discussion that's available for anyone to really participate in if they'd like to, that touches upon different topics of accessibility in language. So, for example, the one for this month is centered on procurement services in language translation. Translation services are pretty expensive. What does that process look like in making sure you're hiring the right company, or if you are hiring a company versus using, community ambassadors? So there's a lot of information. So I'm definitely learning a lot.
Right. And
But yeah.
the roundtables you mentioned, I assume that those are remote, they're on Zoom?
Yes, everything is on Zoom right now, especially because the municipalities that are in it are pretty spread out.
Mhm.
We got all the way from the North Shore to down south. So, yeah, everything's on Zoom right now. But I'm hoping that there'll be opportunities to do some in-person things, but we'll see.
And if somebody were interested in participating in one of those roundtables, they would just basically get the info they need through contacting you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Or they could just email the DEI email. It's just DEI@town.arlington.ma.us. And that will go to the folks within the division. So not just me anymore who will get it, because
Right.
my email gets backed up. So if you reach that, it'll be seen by a few folks.
Yeah, I think it's right. It bears explanation or bears explaining that when I say you these days, I'm referring to all three of you in your department, I guess. And
Yes.
yeah, although for a long time it was just Jill.
Just chill. Uh, but let's see, we got some more stuff going on.
Yeah, I think I've successfully derailed your train of thought, but I know that there is also a mass disability summit that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah. So next week on Thursday, the 27th, the Massachusetts Office on Disability is having their annual disability summit. And this year it's a hybrid event. They have an in person component, and then also it'll be live streamed over Zoom. So folks can either, I think registration for in person has closed, but if folks are interested, they can certainly also still tune in for the summit. But I'm really excited about it this year because representatives from Arlington were asked to present at Summit this year. So we did receive the ADA improvement grant that is provided by the Massachusetts Office on Disability. We did receive it last year, and those funds that we got went towards upgrading a number of our conference rooms within the town buildings to include hybrid meeting technology and really making our different conference spaces fully accessible. And a lot of those meetings are either meetings throughout the day, but also used for public meetings. So a lot of commissions will meet there once we fully, if we go back to fully in person, or if we're going to remain in this hybrid state, that these types of spaces are accessible. So Paul Paravano, one of our Disability Commission co-chairs, and Jim Feeney, our deputy town manager, will be speaking on that grant, the work that was done. And then just this past September, we also submitted for another grant. So I think doing that for another project, another room that we realized should be outfitted in that technology, and then another project around some parking that needs to be accessible. So hopefully we'll get it. We'll find out in a couple months. But it's really exciting that we were asked to present on this, because it means we're really helping lead the work in that arena. And yeah, just another great thing that we can say we've done.
Right. And again, sharing, truly sharing, your experience, the experience that you and others have spearheaded here and the progress made, sharing it so that others can start a little bit further up the path, right? And
Yeah,
that seems very, very important in this particular kind of work.
definitely.
So I think that may cover, let's say that we, in these updates, we like to talk about get literally updates on stuff we've talked about before, and a lot of that is encompassed by what we've already discussed. But I know that there are also sometimes there are specific events that you want to highlight as they're coming up. So tell us about any of those kinds of things that people should be aware of.
Yeah. So also next week, next Thursday, here at I'm in my office, here at the community center is going to be the LGBTQIA plus seniors Halloween dance, but don't be fooled, it's not just for seniors. This is hosted by the Council on Aging and the Rainbow Commission, and it's open to all ages. It should be really fun. It's going to be in the main hall from 4 to 7 on October 27th. And then another event happening here too at the community center is going to be the annual Sage Table event. So an intergenerational program. Again, that's going to be November 10th at 6 p.m. live here in person, dinner, karaoke, and just really an opportunity for folks to come together and engage. So those are the two nearest things coming up. And then just a little plug, I guess, save the date for the MLK committee this year. Well, not this year, next year, January, is going to be their 35th annual celebration here in Arlington. So I believe we're in the process of, I'm sitting on that committee, but we're in the process of kind of getting that program finalized. And the hope is that it will be hybrid. So hopefully we'll be able to convene in person, just making sure we're getting things tucked away for that. But yeah, save the date. That'll be Monday, January 16th.
As we have said before, really one of the seminal events on Arlington's yearly calendar. This commemoration, it really and truly is. So it's definitely worth letting people know, even several months in advance, just reminding people about that. So thank you for doing that. And I just wanted to just quickly before we sign off, just remind people that when you say the community center, because I think it's still somewhat new, we're talking about the brand new community center, of course, that is at the intersection of Maple and Academy Streets behind Town Hall, in a sense, from the Mass Ave perspective. That is going to, soon enough, everybody will be very familiar with that building as the community center, because so many things are now happening and going to be happening there. But just for clarification.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, let me ask you if we have missed anything or anything that has suddenly occurred to you that you wanted to add in as well.
I don't think so.
No,
I think I
nothing
just,
suddenly
like,
occurs to
used
you.
everything out. Right now, I think that's it, but I'm sure I'll have more next time.
Yeah, you had plenty to keep straight already. No reasons for new new things to pop in necessarily. All right, so I want to thank you very much. As always, it's been a chock-a-block, content-rich little update here, and hope that people have enjoyed it. We appreciate your time, Jill, always.
Thanks, James. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. I have been speaking, of course, with Jillian Harvey. She is our town's director of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Division. And that's for this DEI update. We appreciate Jill's time, as I just mentioned, and yours as well. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm James Milan. We'll see you next time.